All right. I got Dr. Sean Tory in the house. This is my bro. I've known him for 20 years, y'all. 20 years. That
20
make me
years.
feel old in the mug, and I'm not old. But man, when I tell you, thank you for being here.
Of course, brother.
I love it. So
course.
I got 3 questions for you. Rapid fire.
Oh, Lord.
Let me know what you think.
Mhm.
Don't have to think too hard about them. First thing that comes to mind, and then we'll do it just like that.
Okay.
All right. So I know, y'all don't know yet, this man loves J. Cole.
Cold world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No blanket, So I want you, and I know this is hard, favorite Cole project.
I'm going to have to say Friday Night Lights. I have to. Like, I got introduced to him because of the warm-up, but Friday Night Lights, I remember I was I was a junior. So I just finished just finished. No, I lied. I was a sophomore. So end of sophomore year, going into junior year, that's what it was, of college. I'm like, yo, what? I'm hearing like, this is smooth. He got Erykah Badu sampled, whatever. But then it was this bar. He said, to the college kids, no scholarships, starting your semester, unpacking your suitcase and filling up your dresser. And I'm like, what? That's me. Like that's me. And that had me hooked. And then he had a song that said, do you prefer, it's called Premeditated, whatever.
Mhm.
And he was like, yo, do you prefer the broke me or the rich me? The broke me couldn't buy you anything, not even $1 meal. Now I pay for everything, how you feel.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I remember being like, at that time, I'm like, yeah, I'm striving to get there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So J. Cole, Cold World, Friday Night Lights.
All right, I love it. One of my favorite projects as well. So shout out to Cole.
Shout out to
Since we're on rappers, I want you, if you can, your Mount Rushmore of rappers. 4.
Okay. I have to go because I like groups, but I can't do groups. So, Pac, number 1.
Okay.
Oh, of course. Pac, number 1. That's 1. Pac, Ice Cube. Oh, this is a tough one for me. Dang, this is a tough one. I have to go DMX.
Okay.
And then J. Cole.
All right. I like that 4. That's a strong 4.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. I know that you rep Vegas.
Yep.
Hard.
Yep.
West Side.
Yep.
Right? So what is
And the North.
And the North. What is your favorite thing about the historic West Side in North Las Vegas?
I'd have to say the Art Center. The Art Center was a space, and huge shout out to Miss China. The reason being because when we were in the youth group, the Alpha Man Divas of Tomorrow, Miss China, we would practice outside the Art Center, which is next to Doolittle. But by the back of the Art Center, we would practice there, and then China would open the Art Center up for us to go inside and watch the mirrors and practice our performance. And so there's a lot of history at the Art Center that I truly love and appreciate. So shout out to China. Shout out to the historic West Side for sure.
All right.
Yep.
I love it. But that's all we got. Again, thank you for answering those tough 3 questions. I really appreciate that from you.
Appreciate that.
And you know what? Let's get into it. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Financial Seeds Podcast, where we believe that financial freedom is built one conversation at a time. I'm your host, JimDre Westbrook, and every week we are here to empower families to go from striving to thriving by having smart, practical money talks. Today's episode is a very personal episode for me. The brother that y'all will meet, I've known since he was in high school. That makes me feel really old. And I'm not that old. I'm getting seasoned. But man, when I tell you the person that you, for some of y'all, will meet and others will, you know what? I've seen this cat before. He is a gem. Las Vegas's own. He is an educator. He is a community man, a builder. I can go on all show, but instead of me just blabbing and just talking, let's introduce Dr. No longer just Mr., but Dr. Sean Tory to the pod. I mean, again, he is a Las Vegas legend. He's done a lot of cool things. And the coolest thing has been just to see you grow up, to see you mature. Like I've had, an up close and personal view to seeing him as student to now being a doctor and just being such a person who's doing things great here in Las Vegas and building generations. So shout out to you, dog. Like I really, really appreciate you being here today on the pod.
Man, it's an honor. You gave me chills you saying that, man. I'm like, oh, we go. Now that I can think about it, because I met you, I think, my sophomore, junior year of high school. So, we're talking about 20 years now.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
I was young. We were young.
Man,
what's
really
going on?
were, man. And again, this will seem like a family reunion when it comes to this type of podcast. So I will remain professional, but at the same time,
same as well.
This is my bro, literally.
Yes.
So I know you, obviously,
of course,
but to our audience, to our guests, maybe they don't know you. This is the first time. So tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, that kind of thing.
Well, first and foremost, God-fearing. Let's start there, right?
Yes, sir.
God-fearing, born and raised here in North Las Vegas and west side of North Las Vegas together, right? I know that sounds weird if you're not from Vegas, but literally if you've been in Vegas long enough or if you're from Vegas, you understand literally walking across the street, you're in North Las Vegas or walking across, you're at the west. But my parents aren't from here. My mom's from Oakland, California. My father's from Athens, Georgia. Just like anybody else who's migrated here, my dad was in the Air Force, and then my mom came down from Job Corps to work in the casino. They got married, and Poop had me. So I'm first generation Las Vegas, right? But luckily, my mom got immersed. My godmother lived out here for some time, so I had extended family that was here. When my parents got divorced, my mother and I were homeless for a little while, and then my grandmother, she embraced us in. So then me and my mom shared the room together until about middle school, and then I finally had my own room again. Went to Brindley Middle School. Was definitely not doing what I was supposed to do when I was younger. Was in the streets, and then a situation happened where it woke me up like, hey, okay, I'm not about this at all. Let me stick to football and stick to school. So then I stick there, but then I was just doing things to stay out of trouble, but I wasn't really fulfilled. And then I joined this youth group called the Alpha Man and Divas of Tomorrow, where that's how I met you because of your friend, my frat brother now, Leon. So shout out to you, Dr. Leon Jackson.
That's good.
I got a chance to meet Dre, Seaburn, I'm spacing bros. Warren, thank you. Warren, these guys to me were like rock stars because I'm like, oh, these are black dudes who can dress down and with the bow tie and be professional black men. I was like, what? Okay, these my heroes. Like everyone, because at that point, you guys broke the stigma for me of just watching people on television, and that was the only way out. You showed me that, there's ways to be fulfilled, successful, all those things without being on television. And that really probed me into all right, let me go to college. Because at that point, I think Seaburn went to Nevada State. I think you had layup, and that was my first intro to style and fashion because you had layup, and I was able to do the fashion show. I was able to do all these things as a teenager and go to Grand Turks and Caicos and perform. And I was like, oh, there's life outside of Vegas. Like, okay, let me go to college. And so that's what sparked that. Went to college, got my bachelor's, had my oldest daughter who's here in the studio. She had her my last semester of college. And then literally fast forward to this past December, she was able to watch me actually remember and watch me walk across the stage to get my PhD. And my middle child, Imara, these past 4.5 years, I've had to pick them up from school early and bring them to class with me. And my professors were cool with them being in the class and also engaging in some of the activities in class. So it was, the standard was there, right? Regardless of what they decide to do with their futures, they know education's the standard. Both my kids are AB honor roll kids. They're both hoopers. It's
nice.
Yeah, that's just a little bit about me. I did remarry their youngest sister, which is Jaslyn, my beautiful wife Jasmine. I think I'm fast forwarding a lot because I don't want to answer everything right in one question.
It's all good.
But that's the gist of who I am. Yeah, have my own nonprofit, mentoring, and I'm now a teacher. I bounced from nonprofit to higher ed, still working higher ed a little bit, then to local government, left local government to stay full time in the classroom, and I fully feel fulfilled because thanks to you all for coming out when I asked about, hey, I was talking about savings at the time because I teach government at econ and at the perfect time. And you guys came in and my students were like all invested. So thank you.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. And we're gonna get into all of that
It's a lot
in this episode. But I definitely want to say shout out to Valley.
Shout out to Valley,
you know, for welcoming us in. So Bree and I did go to your classroom and really talk to those seniors about you know, what that looks like financially, right? Like the school thing is pretty cool, but we always talk here with the Financial Seeds podcast is that we want you to be ready for real life, right? So I couldn't think about anyone better than Dr. Tory being in the classroom. And let's just start there because, again,
for sure.
I know that whole story that you said that we'll dig deeper into, but like looking back, what inspired you to pursue education? So if we theme it about education, like what was the inspiration behind that?
I have to, this is where I'll be completely transparent, right? I actually went to school to be a therapist. I got my bachelor's of human development family studies, minor in business marketing, and then I got my master's in marriage family therapy. And really what prompted me to think about therapy first was having conversations with you, Seaburn, and about what my dynamic was. Because as y'all knew, my father wasn't around at the time. Me and him are cool now, but at that pivotal moment between the ages of 15 to 18, he was not there. And really a little before that too. So I would say about 12 to 18, he wasn't there. And at the right time, these 5 guys on top of these gentlemen who are members of Alpha Alpha were there at the right time to show me, right, that, hey, we're here. All you got to do is reach out. And I reached out. They picked up all my phone calls. And so that's what got the gist of like, hey, if you want to really figure out that dynamic, you should go to therapy and maybe you can help other families that way, right? So that's where it started. And then the mentorship piece was just something I truly loved to do. I did it for free. I didn't care about getting paid for it.
Yeah.
And once I got into it, I was like, oh, actually, this is not what fulfills me. Like, I don't like it because at one point you got to cut off clients for your safety and their, the attachment. But then I didn't like the business side of therapy. I'm not saying it's not beneficial,
of course,
but for me, the mentor space was way better for me. So being the mentor was really where the education piece started, and I didn't know it. Because I was like, all right, well, I'm teaching kids how to step. I'm getting you into college, or I'm helping you go to a trade or military. That's how I initially started. And I was like, all right, let me get these resources to get you guys there. And I really, off the back of Josh and Leon, they mentored me. Then I became the mentor, and then got into working at Nevada Partners, which was one of your first start jobs, right? And from there, left the nonprofit sector to go to higher ed. And that's where I really was like, ooh, education is my speed. Because when I was an undergrad, I worked for the Cultural Diversity Center. I worked in admissions and records. So one of the things I was good at in undergrad was connecting everything. And I knew everybody. And still to this day at UNR, I still know everybody. And I didn't realize like, I have a connection at the higher ed level and community. And I was like, man, like that's what prompted me to go back to get my doctorate, because the mentorship piece I saw was missing. The mentorship I had in undergrad, there was a doctorate, and there was no doctorate at CSN. So essentially I became that guy. And I was like, man, okay, great. I can teach on the higher ed level. That's where the spark came. And from there, my wife was the one who was like, you still work at CSN part-time doing the entrepreneurship center, but I think you should do high school. That's really where you'll thrive. And I was like, I don't know high school, man. I don't know. She's like, well, you already work with them anyway because of your nonprofit. You might as well. I was like, oh, okay. And I'm glad I listened. Did the I Teach accelerated program to get my license. And then, man, this was officially my first semester teaching. And then I was like, oh, I know government. Oh, I know econ because of the work I've done. So it wasn't foreign to me. So I'm looking at the curriculum. I'm like, oh yeah, we need to throw this in here. This meets the standard. It wasn't hard to pick up because at this point I've been doing workshops. I've been doing this stuff. But the only thing that was different is, all right, this is every day. So now you can't give the energy you do at a workshop. You're gonna have to. How do you do that on the 5 days a week?
Yeah.
And that's the shift that I made. But oh man, well, it's been a blessing. Oh, I love teaching. Way better, way more than I thought I would. But I was gonna teach, but I only thought I was gonna teach at the higher ed level.
Got it.
So yeah, that's where it all sparked, and it sparked from mentoring.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see, again, that whole growth process. And for our listeners, especially for the young folks, if you're out there and you feel like, you want something, but you don't necessarily know what that something is, it's all a process. Like every single day we are working towards something to be better than we were yesterday. And it's going to take a village. It's going to take more than just you. And when you speak about teaching, I'm not surprised that you are a phenomenal teacher because just, kind of what you saw in us and other folks, and it's not even us, it's the people we learn from too. So like this whole generational thing, and to see you put your own spin on it, which kind of brings me to the next thing that I want to talk about. Do a little deeper dive into the mentorship program that you have. I mean, how it started, with, My Brother's Keeper. And then, now what you guys got going on with King Jules. Speak on that. Kind of like take us through, how you, where you started and kind of where y'all are now. Because if you don't know, this brother is a celebrity. This brother was on TV, talking about all of the things that he is about to break down to you. So I want you to, humbly, talk your talk when it comes to what you are doing here in the city.
Blessing, bro. I have to say another gentleman that you've also had impact on is your boy Nick Matthews.
Oh yeah.
So Nick Matthews, me and him been friends since high school, and it's because of the youth groups that brought me and him together. Because he went to Mojave, I went to Canyon Springs. He was best friends with somebody that was an M5 with me, and then we did community service together on that. Right. So fast forward from high school to 2016. So now this next conference we're doing marks 10 years. So this June marks 10 years when we started King of Jewels.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, sis. Whew, Lord, it's been a blessing. And it's been a journey. But where it started, Nick hit me up because at this point, I'm already an advisor for the same youth group I was a part of. So I already had motion on mentoring and doing some events and stuff. I was doing Well Suited Wednesday with Ron. Shout out to Ron. I was in both the adult space and the youth space. And then I was using the adult space to have young men donate suits. So it was like a mixture between, and I was getting my style fix and all that. Nick worked at Nevada State. I worked at Nevada Partners. I had all the kids who were locked up in Caliente Spring Mountain. He had all the kids who were just, in high school trying to get to college. And he was like, hey, bro, I remember the kids like us who were in the middle where we just needed to push. And Nick really didn't need to push. The boy was the first valedictorian Mojave. Like, come on, you know what I mean? But hanging with him made me want to be smarter, right? And Nick was like, hey, bro, let's do a conference. And so I was like, all right, bet, let's do our two populations. They're the same kids. The difference was access and opportunity. So we brought these 12 kids together. It started with 12. And it was a one-day conference. And before it was King of Jewels, it was called King of Spades. Because, Black folks like to play spades. So that's kind of where the concept became, we're trying to debunk this idea of you want to be the Joker. Nah, you want to be the king. King of Jewels means king of knowledge. And he would always say jewels. Nick would say, hey, jewels of knowledge. Like you get, we like to shine with chains and earrings, and the watches and all that, but the real jewels is here. And so when we figured out that, hey, spades was actually derogatory, we were like, let's change that. And we changed it to King of Jewels. That's for the historical purposes of how that came to be. But after the one day, and shout out to Bombay, rest in peace. Michael Garrett Bombay, he came through and taught the suit part because he taught us the suit part as well, how to be business casual, professional, all that. He taught us how to do it. And their boys were like, man, this was so fulfilling. Like, when can we do this again? We were like, oh, we were not prepared. We were not prepared to do this again. So then my supervisor, who at the time was the CEO, Monica Ford, and his supervisor, Dr. Fernandez, was like, hey, I think y'all should do this, and I think you guys should do something, like build from this. So we created, it took a month and a half to really build out King of Jewels. And after that first year, it was good. The second year got better. The third year is when we ended up on the news for the first time. Mm-hmm. And that's when it became word of mouth at that point. Yeah. And we always have boys. We always have kids. Then we got a contract with UNLV Upper Bound. Now we're mentoring those kids. And then we still had our own set of kids outside of Upper Bound. So now, at this point, 10 years later, we've impacted more than 10,000 kids. Not just here in Vegas, but going to Kansas, me going on the Know Your Rights camps, helping Colin Kaepernick with doing the workshops there, and Nick going to Philly. So we've been doing like King of Jewels, and everything we've done, we made a pact. Everything we do is for King of Jewels. Yeah. And so that way we're trying to be the biggest critical mentoring platform in the world. That's our goal. And so now next month, as of 10 years, we're still young in it, and we're still looking to thrive. We started this at 25, and now we're 35, and it's a blessing. Yeah. That's what happened. Yeah.
Man, I mean, shout out to you and Nick, and shout out to all the other folks that you mentioned, who held y'all down, support, Monica, the Bombays, those folks who've impacted my life as well. 10,000, right?
10,000.
That
10,000 kids, man,
is crazy. Where that started with just an idea, just the concept, just the thought. And again, to everybody out there, young or old, like, you can have that same impact with that thought, with that dream, with that idea, and to just see it continue to, just flourish, just blossom. Where, it's a Vegas thing, but this is a worldwide thing.
And I think one thing people need to understand, Dre, is that the love we had for it was way more, still have for it, outweighed any type of money we would make. We didn't care about making money.
Right.
And now we have those opportunities. And even still, like, the way we move, we're still investing in the community more than we get out of it. With the fulfillment comes when these kids go off to school in Hawaii, Chicago, all these kids. Like, we had it while we did our first study, our first document was for my dissertation. When I was collecting this evidence, one of our kids was studying abroad in Italy and still hopped on so that we can conduct the study.
Nice.
Those are the stories like we were connected to that.
Yeah.
Like, that was way more fulfilling than we ended up on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
Like that. That was never the goal. Like, I think that's where people got to understand. Sometimes people, they care about so much of like being seen. We wanted the kids to be seen.
Oh yeah.
That's what people got to remember. Like, it wasn't about us. And then these things just happened, But it's been a blessing to keep going, because now we're like, all right, I think we just got crowned community champion by WWE, and we were able to. I didn't go. I sent our kids to the WrestleMania.
Awesome.
Like, it was about y'all getting this exposure. Like, that's it. Like, we didn't care about anything else, and everything else has been coming down, raining blessings. So I will say that, like, you gotta love this more than just a paycheck.
Oh yeah. Straight up. Silver State Schools Credit Union has partnered with the UNLV Alumni Association to launch the Rebels Forever Affinity Card Program. Whether you choose our debit card, low-rate credit card, or 2% cashback credit card, you won't just rep the Rebel spirit. You'll support it by giving back with every swipe at no cost to you. Learn more at silverstatecu.com/rebelsforever. So I love how you said, like, you got to love this thing, right? You cannot, kind of fake the funk. You can't be in it just for the money, right? When we talk about money, obviously we talk about it all the time, but it's never like the thing that prioritizes over everything else, right? It's a tool. We want you to learn how to manage it, but you must be passionate about something. And I love that, the passion seeps out. If you are watching this, you could probably feel it. If you're hearing this, you can also, hear this thing. So my next question, I guess, for you is, through you being a, husband, you're a father, you're a mentor, you're all of these things. How do you, Sean, how do you stay motivated, right? Like you're a human being. Like you probably have off days, bad days, that type of thing.
Definitely.
How do you stay motivated to do the work you feel you're called to do?
Huge. Sometimes I need my moments to myself.
Sure.
And I think one thing I do, I pray every morning, I pray every night. There's moments where I'm just by myself and I'll listen to meditation music. And I'll also, and I've been slipping on this, so that's how I'm being transparent. When my kids were super younger, we would pray and meditate together.
Mm-hmm.
And we just started picking that back up together because, we get so busy now. The girls, both my girls are AAU basketball. Imani's, she's really focused. So sometimes we get so caught up.
Yeah.
But we still pray. Like one thing we do, even if it's individual, but one thing I was like, okay, we have the youngest. She needs to know that we pray and meditate together.
Yep.
But one of the biggest things too, I'll have my solo days where it's just me. I'll take myself to brunch.
Yeah.
Or I'm taking myself to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I get lost in the stories. So one of the best books I was ever given around the time I met you and was Joseph Campbell's The Power of the Myth. So reading that book, understanding mythology, understanding everything has its purpose, and then understanding the connection to Joseph Campbell to Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And to know that George Lucas was a student of Joseph Campbell and why Darth Vader means more than what we think. Like those things, I go deep into that.
Sure.
And that's what keeps me motivated because it's the stories, right? And it's the kids' stories. It's my story. Part of me gets healed when I do these things too. But I go to therapy by myself too. And watching my girls hoop makes me feel great because I had those hoop dreams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But to see I didn't push that on my kids, they wanted that. And that was something that was like great. Like but I wasn't as dedicated as them. Like I can be completely transparent of like I wasn't as motivated. I was like, oh, I don't work hard. I didn't work hard enough on that. But when it came to stepping, that was my jam.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Could nobody see me in that? And I see that same attitude when my kids hoop or my kid and my daughter, she drums. My oldest drums. My middle, she dances, and my youngest, she swims. So getting to relive life and see how my kids are seeing life, completely different than how I grew up, brings me joy too. So reading, meditating, going to art galleries, I do all that by myself because I like to understand the mythology behind certain things. And that's what keeps me motivated because then randomly I can tell students like, hey, this means more than what you just think. So that's what keeps me motivated is rewatching stories, because catching things that I missed the first time or rereading stuff. So yeah, that's what keeps me going.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And I think, as we're listening, as we're hearing, that can be maybe a reminder for the person that's always on the grind, that's always hustling. That stuff is cool. Like we've been there and we're still doing that. But we are human beings. We have to reset. We have to, take a moment to relax and reflect and do those things. So it's encouraging to hear from you, someone that I know, like after this, you got to put your hat on and you're doing something else. You are taking care of yourself because we want you to, as we always say, keep planting those seeds, but they need to grow. They need to be watered. They need to be fertilized. And if you're just always on this go and wanting to do your thing, you need time to, again, grow, reflect, mature, that type of thing. And I just, I commend you on that.
Thank you.
Doing that. I tried to do that stuff on a day-to-day basis. So shout out to you. And hopefully this is that encouragement for y'all to do the same thing.
I think one thing too I want to say to my parents, especially my fathers, don't feel wrong. Don't be too prideful to admit when you're wrong to your kids. Like
That's good.
I literally recently had a conversation with my girls about, hey, I didn't emotionally handle this the best as far as I shut down.
Sure.
because I was processing,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to explain to my girls like, hey, sometimes I need time away because I don't want to say something or
Mhm.
just react. I need to process because in my mind I'm like, you know what? Am I tripping? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Maybe this is like you're overthinking.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to meditate, pray on it, opposed to talk about it right then and there.
Yeah.
And that's, as a man, especially showing young girls,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be able to show them how to regulate young man, or how young ladies should regulate their feelings, right? And admit when you're wrong. Like, I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. And I
Mhm.
think sometimes as parents we get so prideful about what it's supposed to be because we're adult isms and all this stuff. So I have no problem telling the girls when I'm wrong because they have no problem telling me when I'm wrong. And that's a fact. My girls will tell me, my girls will tell me when I'm wrong in a minute. And sometimes we get our egos get caught up in, nah, we don't want to listen to our kids. And I'm like, nah, you know what, you was right. Sorry, my bad. And I don't mind telling my girls that. So
I love that. And, that's maturity, man.
Yeah.
And I think, shout out to all the fathers, but then also, you've been talking about your wife, and I'll throw mine in there. Shout out to the wives
shout
as
out to the
well.
wives.
Is that, they come with this knowledge, they come with this wisdom that
Mhm.
without them, we'd be cooked. It'd be a wrap, and we wouldn't be the men that we are. So again, to the ladies in the house, to all the wives, we just want to give you your flowers, because all the success that we talk about, like, we couldn't do this thing without y'all.
We couldn't, because I think the part of the thing, people get so caught up in who runs the household, the man or the
Sure.
woman. I think good men understand when you follow your wife, you lead the house correctly.
Yeah.
Your wife runs the house. The man sets the tone.
Yep.
But you both have to be able to lead and follow each other. If you can't do that, then but then who's that third strand?
Yeah.
And for everybody, that third strand is different people.
Sure.
Or it's a higher power of whoever they believe. I know for me, the third strand is God, for me and the wife. But not everyone follows that, which is fine. But it's like a good man understands, a good husband, or effective, let me not say good or bad, an effective husband understands, you know what, your wife is going to be the one to see things you don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right, bro. And huge shout out to my wife, because I know I don't get it right all the time. But my wife is patient. My wife is loving. And my wife, as much as sometimes she'll probably get irritated with me because of how I move, she's the one balances me out. And I know that. And she knows that. So I'm very thankful for my wife. Huge shout out to you guys, man. Thank you, baby.
Real quick, if you're listening to this and thinking, students need to hear this, we got you. At Silver State Schools Credit Union, we offer free K-12 financial literacy workshops and hands-on experiences that help students understand money in real life. Tap in with us online or inside the branch and bring it to your school. All right, let's get back into the episode. All right, Doc, we're going to get you up out of here because I know you got other stuff to do, but I do have kind of one final question. This is kind of our Seeds of Wisdom segment, where we want you to give kind of that lasting impact, that jewel, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Where you can give to essentially anybody, but I'm actually going to make this a little different than usual.
Okay.
I want you to talk to, maybe young Sean, right? And maybe it is a younger person. I know you've been talking about your daughters, but what's some advice that you haven't given already that you could give a younger person that says, you know what? I'm feeling him. Like, I'm rocking with him. How do I get where you are? How do I get some of that? Like, what's some of the seeds of wisdom you can maybe share with kind of that younger generation to blaze their own?
Blaze their own.
Yeah.
And if you want stuff I haven't said, right? Or something, like, okay.
It don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter.
I think that, and I actually recently said this at a graduate, because I was a keynote at UNLV's African American professionals graduation. And I told them, hey, be kind, but don't be gullible. And what I mean by that is, like, be kind to people, be respectful.
Sure, of course.
But when you see a snake, Don't be gullible to the snake. Like, you have to learn how to move in that. And that doesn't mean be rude to the snake, but you have to really see it for what it is.
Yeah.
Don't be like, I don't know, and you ignore your gut feeling.
Yep.
Believe that gut feeling. You're not wrong, because that goes into the next part, where it is when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's too many times where I've given people chances and they screwed me, right? And that was business, right? Because sometimes, and I'm somebody who, like, I operate in business in authenticity and being genuine, and that's how I move. Not everyone moves that way, right? The other part is don't wait for permission to be great. I remember there were times where I'm in this organization and I'm like, hey, this would be a dope idea, let's do this, and it got shut down. And then that was an idea that just never flourished, because it was like they said no. I accepted the rejection, opposed to, like, let me try to find another avenue. I know I'm not wrong on this.
Right.
And so don't wait for permission to be great. And then the last thing is be okay with not being understood, but be firm on the respect you deserve. And I say that because sometimes people chase so much to be understood. And there's people who either like, yeah, I get you, but I don't get you. And there's people who don't care to understand you at all.
Right.
They're going to feel how they feel regardless. But one thing is, when I say be firm on the respect you deserve, don't accept for yourself that what people are going to give you, you have to accept that. You can be like, you know what, I'm going to be kind and I'm going to respectfully remove myself from this, because this is not the space energy I'm going to give. So those 4 things is what I will tell in detail, because I didn't give that much. I just left them with the cliffhanger. Yeah. Here I'll give you the detail of, like, why I say each one, because it's important. Because then once you realize, like, okay, this idea did come to it was right. The folks who said no didn't understand, didn't get it. That's fine. It wasn't meant for them to.
Nope.
But you got to figure it out. So be okay. Be patient too. Oh, please be patient. Give yourself grace. Because right now we're in a time where us folks who are under 40, you're not wrong in how you're feeling. Like, we're supposed to be. You did all the things right, and we're not financially where we wish to be, but we're making the money. But then where's the money going? And you're saving, you're doing this, but then it's like, wait, I'm still struggling. Why is that feeling? Right now, young folks, there's 5 generations working at the same time. That has never happened in the history of our country, right? So these are things you got to think about. Like, and I say that to the young folks, where when you feel like, man, I'm not moving up, this is not happening. Nah, there's a lot of factors. It's not you. Don't blame yourself. So that's what I'll leave the young folks.
Well, I hope y'all was taking notes, because that was a lot of good information of the 5 things that you dropped. And, what I'm hearing from that is, this whole conversation we've been talking about is really about investing, right? Yeah. Like this personal investment that we want all of y'all to do, young or old. And when you invest into yourself, it's never a waste.
Yep.
Never a waste. Like, it's never a waste. So it doesn't matter if it's that book, if it's that practice, if it's that class, whatever it is never a waste. So we want you to continue to keep learning, keep growing, keep showing up, keep being you. If you haven't heard anything but this, is that we all have our unique purpose. Sean is Sean, Dre is Dre. We are all uniquely created to do great things for the greater good. So if you can invest into yourself, you eventually will see those dividends. Like you were talking about money and all that stuff, this compound interest that will happen when you show up day after day, you will get better. So please remember that you matter. Your investment that you're putting into yourself matters every single day. So we encourage you to continue to keep investing, keep doing what you're doing, and you will see the fruits of your labor if you do not give up and do the things that Sean mentioned.
Thank you.
Man, well, as I said, Doc, I know you got to run. You got the girls. They probably got practice. They got some other stuff. I ain't even get on hooping because, I was a hooper back in the day too. So I was like, man, I want to talk basketball and all this other things. But thank you again. Like, I
Thank you.
can't thank you enough for making time, not just for me, but for our audience. We were truly blessed with your presence, with your wisdom. And again, bro, I just really, really appreciate you being here on today.
No, it was an honor for you. Anything. I think, right, just to share to your audience, JimDre gave so much to me when he didn't even know it. I know I thanked him back then, but I can, as you see the Dr. Sean Tory, there would be no Dr. Sean Tory without you. So thank you, Dre.
Of course. Yeah, no doubt.
The confidence you gave in me back then, like how you wore a bow tie inspired me to wear a bow. And I think like I remember how smooth and still are. Dre has never aged, by the way. I've known this man for 20 years. He's never aged. So huge shout out to you, Dre. Thank you. It's been an honor. For you, anything. This was an honor. So thank you.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that, man. So that's it. You know, we can keep going, but we understand that y'all got stuff to do too. So you already know we want you to continue to support the Financial Seeds podcast. So we need you to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things that will show us the love that you've heard and seen here. Please share this with anybody who, may feel that they need this. It could be your student. It could be your spouse. It could be whoever it is. Please share this with them. And for social media, you already know, follow us on all our social media accounts so you can stay locked into the Financial Seeds podcast. For our very special guest, Dr. Sean Tory.
Thank you.
My name is JimDre. We will see y'all next week. And as always, keep planting those seeds. Peace.
The Financial Seeds podcast is powered by Silver State Schools Credit Union, hosted by JimDre Westbrook, co-hosted by Brianna Chavez, produced by Jackie Martin, and recorded in the Scott A. Arkhills production studio. The Financial Seeds podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended as financial, legal, or tax advice. All opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Silver State Schools Credit Union. Listeners should consult with a qualified financial professional for advice specific to their individual situation.